Seoul Education Chief Cho Hee-yeon faces a fine and could lose his job over unsubstantiated claims he made about his rival in last year's education chief election. President Park Geun-hye made a phone call to the King Sejong Station in the South Pole on her South America tour to encourage Korean scientists working there. And Junghoon Construction CEO Jung Won-ju was arrested on Thursday on suspicions of raising slush funds. Prosecutors are investigating how the funds were spent. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Friday, April 24th. I'm Luke Clary. Seoul Education Chief Cho Hee-yeon was slapped with a $4,600 fine after being indicted for raising false allegations against his rival Koh Seung-duk during the education chief election last year. Cho could also lose his post if the Supreme Court finalizes the ruling.
Amid the competitive campaign to elect Seoul City's education chief in late May last year, the then candidate Cho Hee-yeon raised allegations against rival contender Koh Seung-duk.
고 후보는 두 자녀를 미국에서 교육시켜 미국 영주권을 보유하고 있으며 고 후보 자신 또한
This speculation was eventually found to be false, and the education chief was put on trial by the prosecution on charges of circulating lies. In the first trial, the court has convicted him with a fine of $4,600. In the verdict, the court said that circulating false information before an election was not a light charge. The prosecution's claim that Cho simply raised allegations without trying to confirm them was recognized by the court. However, the court did not accept Cho's claim that his action was not intentional, and he wishes to defuse the misunderstanding.
결과가 실망스럽게 나왔습니다. 곧바로 항소해서 2심에서 저의 무죄를 입증하도록 그렇게 노력하겠습니다.
If the Supreme Court finalizes the sentence, Cho will be stripped of his title.
President Park Geun-hye, who is visiting South America, made a phone call to the King Sejong Station in the South Pole to encourage Korean scientists working there. The president was in Chile, the closest country to the South Pole base, and will soon visit Brazil, where she will hold a summit with her Brazilian counterpart.
President Park Geun-hye encouraged scientists at the King Sejong Station at the South Pole via phone call.
예, 안녕하세요. 예, 남극은 그 혹한의 볼모지로 알고 있는데 어려운 환경 속에서 정말 고생이 많습니다.
She asked them about any inconveniences that they may be facing and urged them to take good care of their health during their stay in the polar region. An In-young, the first female head of the Antarctic Research Program, responded that the King Sejong Station is ideal for oceanic and biological research, and that the station is striving to contribute to the future of humanity. Launched in 1988, the King Sejong Station is Korea's first South Pole scientific research base. Currently, 17 people, including its chief, An In-young, are stationed there. Earlier, President Park held a summit meeting with Chilean President Michelle Bachelet, where she expressed gratitude to Chile for supporting the operation of the South Korean Antarctic base as the country closest to the pole. The two heads of state also signed a memorandum of understanding on the opening of a Korea-Chile South Pole Cooperation Center in the Chilean city of Punta Arenas.
Presidential summit talks in Peru have covered the participation of Korean firms in modernization projects in the Latin American nation. Korean firms are increasingly winning construction orders in Central and South America as the region emerges as an important market for Korean builders.
This thermoelectric power plant was the first to be built by a Korean company in Chile back in 2009. Construction of the 240 megawatt power plant was a $369 million project. Ever since, Korea has built a power plant in Chile each year. But the country is still short of electricity. The situation is similar in other Latin American nations, which lack robust energy, road, and railway infrastructures. The Inter-American Development Bank, or IDB, is therefore increasing construction funds for countries in Central and South America.
2010년도에 12조에서 2014년도에는 16조까지 늘린 상황이고요. 이에 따라 가지고 지원 금액이 늘림에 따라 가지고 건설 시장도 향후 증가될 것으로 예상을 합니다.
In fact, the volume of construction orders Korean firms landed in Latin America quadrupled from $1 billion in the first quarter of last year to $4 billion a year later. This is why Latin America is becoming a promising market for Korean builders, following the footsteps of the Middle East.
Junghoon Construction CEO Jung Won-ju was arrested on Thursday on the suspicion of raising slush funds. Prosecutors are tracing how the funds, amounting to tens of millions of dollars, have been spent.
Junghoon Construction CEO Jung Won-ju was detained on April 23rd. Presiding Judge Lee Jun-chul of the Suncheon branch of the Gwangju District Court issued the arrest warrant, which had been requested by prosecutors at around 10:30 p.m. April 23rd. The construction company CEO is being charged with embezzlement and legal violations during external audits into his company. The judge cited possible destruction of evidence as the reason for his decision to issue the arrest warrant. The CEO was taken under arrest directly at the prosecutor's office where he had been waiting and was detained in Suncheon prison. He is facing charges of raising a slush fund amounting to approximately $19 million and embezzling the money during the construction of the Sinde district in Suncheon. When asked by reporters if he admitted to the charges prior to the deliberation on his arrest warrant, Chung said only that he would explain everything to the prosecutors.
검찰에 잘 소명했습니다.
Prosecutors are attempting to ascertain how the slush fund was used. They have recently found more than 10 bank accounts under the names of Junghoon Construction employees and their relatives and are tracing the flow of the corporate funds. They are also zeroing in on evidence that some of the money was transferred to the bank accounts of public servants via borrowed name accounts.
A flight attendant who pressed charges against Korean Air over damages she suffered in the so-called nut rage incident has revealed that she received special training on how to serve Cho Hee-yeon, the former vice chief of Korean Air, during her flight. A U.S. law firm representing the flight attendant said that it filed the suit as efforts to resolve the matter fell apart.
In a written complaint, flight attendant Kim Do-hee said that after being assigned to the plane boarded by former Korean Air Vice President Cho Hee-yeon, she and the cabin crew received 2 rounds of special training on how to treat a so-called royal family member of the company. The sessions focused on satisfying the personal preferences of Cho Hee-yeon. The details even included her preferred volume of music and the temperature of the soup she likes. Kim said this is why she quickly served the macadamia nuts as soon as she boarded the plane. The letter states in detail Kim's claim that she suffered physical and verbal abuse by the former Korean Air vice president. The U.S. law firm representing the flight attendant said intentions to press charges were submitted to the court on March 5th, but with Korean Air having made no offer to resolve the dispute, they said a formal complaint has been filed.
Many people suffer from spring fever during the spring. Edible flowers are known to help fight the discomfort.
A table is laid with dishes made with colorful flowers. Pansies, nasturtiums, violas, and china pinks create an ensemble of edible flowers. When used in casseroles and bibimbap or rice mixed with vegetables and spicy sauce, these flowers add fragrance and a unique texture.
너무 부드럽고요. 이걸 먹고 나니까 몸에 활기가 나고 올봄을 굉장히 뿌듯하게 지낼 것 같아요.
Flower pigments contain large amounts of antioxidants which help fight spring fever. A study conducted by the Rural Development Administration showed that edible roses contain 7 times more polyphenol than green tea, while primulas contain nearly twice as many flavonoids as those found in fruits. Edible flowers were also found to be rich in protein, essential amino acids, and vitamins, which are needed for physical strength. Edible flowers, which in the past were mostly used for decoration, have emerged as a healthful food ingredient.
The Gyeonggi International Ceramic Biennale 2015 is taking place in the cities of Icheon, Yeoju, and Gwangju. It's a grand festival with plenty of interesting exhibitions showcasing the unique colors of ceramic works and international ceramic trends.
Just like a character in a children's story who ventures out to the world of dreams and fantasy, this exhibition intrigues people's imagination with unusual shapes and diverse colors. This year's theme at the Gyeonggi International Ceramic Biennale is color. The theme, Different Colors, explores the new areas of ceramic, coloration attempts to integrate genres, and original colors is rooted in tradition. Visitors can enjoy the sublime and mystical colors of ceramic works that reflect the signatures of each region.
화에서 보여지는 컬러도 보실 수 있겠지만 도자만이 보여줄 수 있는 특성을 가진 그런 특성들을 일컬어 지금 저희가 이제 색이란 주제를 잡았던 거고요.
Ceramic artists have been pushed aside by cheap ceramic pieces manufactured in factories. The grand prize winner of this year's international competition will demonstrate the reality of today's ceramic industry and the anguish of artists. Roughly 2,600 ceramic pieces from 74 countries entered the competition, enriching the event in both quality and quantity. During the Biennale's run, cities in Gyeonggi Province, known for their ceramic heritages, will each hold festivals of their own. Visitors will be able to witness and experience the infinite possibilities of the exhibition's artistic and practical ceramic pieces.
Lately, several Chinese members of K-pop idol groups have left their teams and returned to China after rising to stardom. Rumors of Tao leaving the hottest group EXO have sparked controversy in the K-pop music industry and among fans. This and more are coming up in today's showbiz news.
EXO have become one of Korea's top idol groups just 3 years after their debut. They originally started off with 12 members, but Chris and Luhan, two of its Chinese members, left the team last year and are now working in China. Now the departure of Tao, another Chinese member, is becoming more likely. Tao's father hinted at his son's departure when he posted an article on a Chinese online site and apologized for making a decision that would hurt the fans. EXO's agency said it would talk with Tao's father and find a viable solution. Differences in production systems and cultures and the growth of the Chinese entertainment industry, a vast market and solid funding are cited as major causes for the recent series of Chinese members' departures. Korean traditional kugak singer Song So-hee has released her first album. The mini-album titled New Song is Song's first album released in her 15-year music career. It features harmonious blends of Korean musical instruments like the small gong and Korean-style pipe and modern instruments such as the piano and drums.
Many homemakers tend to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. Harmful gases that arise during cooking can endanger people's health. So today, we look at how these gases are generated and how to prevent them. More women are being diagnosed with lung cancer these days. A study shows that the risk of non-smoking women contracting lung cancer increases due to fumes generated in the kitchen. When cooking, the kitchen is soon filled with smoke.
음식에서 그냥 요리하면서 나는 연기니까 별로 대수롭지 않게 여기고 그래도 이런 연기 바깥의 연기에 비하면 그냥 아무것도 별거 아니라는 생각을 좀 하고 있었죠, 평소에.
With the help of the Korea Institute of Science and Technology, a KBS team analyzed changes in the components of the smoke. After cooking, the amount of nitrogen monoxide increased 9-fold. The amount of fine dust stood at 1,386 micrograms, a jump of over 20 times. The smoke even contains black carbon particles, which are found in car exhaust emissions. If the house is not ventilated well, the substances build up on beds and furniture, becoming a cause of skin diseases.
지금 이 방의 상태가 우리가 도로 한복판에 있는 거나 비슷하게 또는 이제 우리가 황사 갔을 때라든가 뭐 이런 정도까지 높아지는 그런 오염 상태가 발생하게 됩니다.
Homemakers are advised to turn on their hood fans while cooking. It's better to keep them on for 5 to 10 minutes, even after cooking is finished. Hood fans don't function properly if they're not cleaned on a regular basis. To clean hood fans at home, make paste first by mixing flour and water at a ratio of 5 to 1. Next, put a paper towel on the hood fan and spread the paste thoroughly. Last, leave it for 20 to 30 minutes before removal. With a clean hood fan running, the amount of nitrogen monoxide dropped to 1/4 and fine dust to 1/3. The most important step is to air the house 3 times a day. Hazardous gases produced in the kitchen can pose a threat to the health of homemakers, but the proper use of hood fans helps decrease the risk. Beware of harmful poisonous gases created when cooking, and don't forget to turn on your fan. And now let's take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.